The Enstrom allows me to be that cool, calm, and collected. It's just not me. The machine broadcasts its move. It's stable. It's got a massive rotor system, low center of gravity. It is an amazing machine. We actually found out that we fly the most hours on one model, the 280FX, one helicopter in the world because of the hours we fly.
Welcome to the Helicopter Podcast, your go-to source for all things rotorcraft. I'm Halsey Scheider, bringing you the stories, insights, and conversations from around the helicopter industry. Whether you're a seasoned pilot, a maintainer, or you're just passionate about helicopters, this is the podcast for you.
A quick note from editor David. During this episode, Halsey's mic had an issue about halfway through the recording. Don't worry, it's temporary, and you will still be able to enjoy the episode. No, we are working to fix that as soon as possible.
Something shimmied that aircraft, and it just goes down after that.
Yeah,
So, I don't know if you understand my content at all. If you can pick up on it, I don't necessarily like armchair quarterbacking accidents. I'm not the type to. I'm not going to build content off of somebody else's misfortune.
Yeah, no, I appreciate that. And we are live now. We're not technically live, but we are recording. So to our listeners, what's up, guys? It's Halsey. I'm hanging out with Jeremiah Griffith from Horizon Helicopters in Delaware. Is that where you're at?
Yep, Newark, Delaware.
Is it hot right now?
State.
You look like you're a little sweaty. I'm wearing a sweater.
Yeah, it's a little warm right now. It's 80 degrees out.
Oh, damn. That's nice. It's really sunny. I live in...
Proud of you.
I like that. I like that. I live on the opposite side of the country, and up in Bend, Oregon, and it's kind of cold today, but it's sunny. I'm kind of digging it though. I kind of enjoy when we transition from like summer to fall, and you can start to wear the hoodies again. And it's
I
kind
need
of like
to be in a place that has the color from summer to fall. I love the color, and I love more than one or two trees.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I do love some of the views the West has, like the Rockies, but I love like the Smoky Mountains.
The Smokies are beautiful.
Yeah.
Pacific Northwest, pretty gorgeous. Where I live.
Well, we got a beautiful country. I want to see it all. You can only pick one place to live, though, right?
I got to be honest. I've never been to Delaware. I did a project on Delaware in 6th grade. That was my state project, and so I knew all these facts about it. I don't know any more facts now, but
nice.
I've been all over New England. I don't think I've ever been in Delaware, though. And I have to say that a lot of parts of New England remind me of the Pacific Northwest. Like, if you didn't know any better, you could think that you were in the Pacific Northwest.
What I always tell people are like, what distinguishes one state from another? Lines that humans draw.
Yeah, it's all one area. It's all funny, right? And then there's lines, have a lot of consequences, right? Like,
yeah.
I remember I went from, I flew at Maverick helicopters, like, I don't know, 10 years ago or something. And I went to get my Nevada license, and they're like, oh, you're from Oregon. You got to take the test. I'm like, what? I got to take a test? Like, I had my license for 11 years at that point. Like, I have to take a driver's test, So it's just funny.
Nice.
All the different state rules and laws and things like that. But hey, thanks so much for coming on. At the top of the show there, we're just talking about today is October 7th that we're recording this episode, and it won't be released for about a month or so. But unfortunately, this morning, there was a bad accident with an EC-130. I guess really technically an H-130. It looks like a T-2, an air medical ship just out of the Sacramento area. And yeah, don't really know exactly what happened. Of course, it's so funny when people shoot videos of any type of something that you want to see or know more about, because it's like right at the point where you want to really see what's happening, the video pans away.
Well, because they want to see it in real life.
Yeah,
they drop the phone and they want to watch it, which is crazy. But yeah, it just right before they drop it, you see that aircraft shimmying. I'm not sure what happens. Not going to sideline quarterback accidents. It's unfortunate for the families.
I know.
Did they all walk away?
I think, again, I don't know. I do know that 3 were transported in critical condition.
I believe that, yeah.
So
I think everybody walked away.
At some point they were alive. I heard that bystanders actually came and like lifted the aircraft up to get someone that was trapped. So, I mean, all super scary, horrible stuff. And, that's the helicopter industry sometimes, honestly, right? I mean,
we got to pay attention 100% of the time, 110% of the time. That's you can be good. That's why I had a guy from Australia. He's like, I want to come train with you. And I want you to tell people you're the best. And I was like, I'm only the best at the end of the day. Once you stop, once you have the end of the day, it's, then it's like, all right, I can go home. And it's not that dangerous. It really isn't. It's, as long as you got your pre-flights, you got your maintenance, it's not dangerous. You and I talked about how.
Yeah, we did talk about that.
I started doing all the recordings because of my children.
Yeah.
I got 2.5 and 1.5.
Crazy guy.
And I wanted to sit there and talk like this to them. And I couldn't.
Yeah, of course.
It was like, so guys, if I don't see you, you know what I mean? I was like, you know what? I'm going to I know my script in the aircraft. I know what to say. Let me just put the camera up like a fly on the wall, get after it. And it's really worked, and they have something to look back, because that's all this was for. I mean, it just, so cool. And then my concern was I got to cross Route 40 in the morning. And for some reason, I have it in my head that one day the light's going to be green. I'm going to want to get it on the way to work, and there's going to be a Mack truck coming through that ain't going to be paying attention.
Isn't it so funny how vivid like that? Like you have it planned out. It's going to be a Mack truck. It's like, it's funny how your brain can really, play tricks. Like I was telling you in our messaging, I just had a daughter as well. Congrats to you. And your
congratulations. Yeah. Because she's how old now? She's only a couple of weeks, right?
3.5 months. So she's
okay. So we still,
she's a baby.
And this is your first, right?
Number 1, hoping to have 2, just excited to have 1. Long process for my wife and I, but just so blessed and grateful. And
it's crazy. It was crazy how I wish they would have told us it would have taken longer in high school. I would have much more fun.
I always made the joke, like, man, they told me in high school how easy it was. And now, granted, I have some friends that seem to look at, I got a couple buddies that look at their wife and they get pregnant. And so it wasn't.
No, it took a minute for us too. Yeah, it was a process.
For us, it was definitely a process. We had to kind of go some different non-traditional routes, and we're just glad that it worked out. We did IVF, which was, something that I never thought I would have to do. But years of trying just gets tough. And, thank God for the science behind all that stuff.
But you'll look now, like it took us like 6 hours, because I thought, hey, we're going to have a kid, all was going to be good. But now you more so than I look at that child more as a gift than anything else now, because it's like, we know we wanted you. Yeah.
Well, I look at that little thing as the most expensive baby on earth right now. That was not cheap. It is a gift. And, it's actually one thing that's, next week I'm flying. I'm going to go to, of course, in a 130. Of course, the accident today is in a 130.
They're not paying aircraft. It's the Plimble.
Yeah.
And that's what everybody gets on us, where we train out of with the power lines. And I mean, if you want me to, I can walk out there and show you the high tension lines, but they haven't walked in front of an aircraft since they've been around. Now, one may give way, and it's not the issue in training. It's not looking for the wires. It's looking for the structures.
Yeah.
And not only the structures, but the hardware on the structures can tell you which direction they go. And that's, one thing I want to get into is we've tried to get with different law enforcement. There's a couple that listen to us and come and train with us, but that is we're power line and pipeline people, and we do training. So we do both. And, some people act like, we have people who try and compete with us, and they're like, well, and the one thing they do, well, they're going to cancel you because they got power line or pipeline, but we work in it. And would you rather be instructing from somebody who has experience or just somebody who's there trying to fill out their hours and move on. But, people got to do what they got to do. The big thing is flying in the wires like we do. You just pay attention to it.
Yeah, you really.
That's where we live, is in that space. And we can show people how to operate it, and it doesn't take that long. You know what I mean? We've got a rat's nest around us, and we can get them in an inexpensive helicopter. You don't have to get in the machine that you operate in.
Sure.
We can get you in an inexpensive helicopter or a cost-effective machine, get you in it, and fly around them. You know what I mean? And it's really just situational awareness. It's the biggest thing with it all.
It's so important. And, most helicopter missions put you into the wires. I was never really in a ton of wire environments myself as a pilot. But then again, I kind of was, right? Because I was flying air medical. There's most of the time in the middle of the night, I had no idea what was in front of me.
And you rely on the ground guys, and it's really training on the ground guys as well. It's not just the pilots.
And you're working with the volunteer fire department, old Cletus there, and he's like, oh, I think there's a wire there. And you're like, you're coming down, and you're like, Cletus, what about the wire that's right here? Oh, yeah, I didn't see that one. Like, you're standing right under it. It's crazy. And, for air medical, what they taught us is, we flew these painfully slow approaches, with the hope being that you're going so slow that if you didn't see a line, you could see it before your, rotor would contact or whatnot. And unfortunately, it kind of depends on where you're kind of situated with the wire, right? If that's
I'm wondering if there's a
work or not.
Us thinking out loud, I'm wondering if there's a coating they could put, just like a reflective tape on a school bus, like spray a reflective spray so that you throw lights on it and it could pop.
Well, that too. I always thought about like NVG too. Like, what if there's like something that just...
Well, you can see them under NVG. So I've got...
Yeah, but you can, but it's still kind of hard, right? Like, it's not perfect.
So and that's where you look for the structure, and then you can find the wire, because the wires disappear.
Of course.
Yeah, because what is it? I only have limited, as a crew chief in Afghanistan, I was under NVGs, I think, for like 300 hours in combat.
Yeah, I probably have, I don't know, maybe 500-600 hours of NVG time, and amazing. I love flying AIDIT. It's amazing. It feels like a true superpower, honestly.
Yeah.
But it's not, you got to be careful, because you can get a false sense of security sometimes, especially when you're landing, into an unapproved area at night.
And that's where the hair on the back of our necks really needs to stick up. It's not like, hey, let me look over. Let me go over another time. Oh, you know what? I know there's somebody, and so there's a balance that medical guys have to fight, right? I got to get on the ground because I need to save somebody's life, but I don't know what's around.
Yeah, but I also don't want to kill myself or my crew, And
yes.
And honestly, air medical has got significantly better. I was talking to someone recently, I think it was on the podcast, and I'm just spitting out facts that I have not actually validated, but apparently in 2008 was the deadliest year for air medical. And since that time, it's just only gotten better and better and better. And that's what I saw, right? When I worked for air medical, 5-6 years ago, man, the training was really good. Their commitment to safety was really good. The decision-making, allowing pilots to make good decisions and supporting those good decisions, right? Not allowing the mission pressure to make you go and make a bad decision.
Yep.
And simple little steps. What they used to do is you would get a tone back in the good old day, and they say, hey, you got a 5-year-old that's drowning, right? That's the message that you got.
Yeah, and then you're gonna push yourself, because now it hits that heartstring.
You got a little kid that needs you, right? You're gonna go. They don't do that anymore, right? Now we have a scene call request. It's here's the coordinates, and then you make the decision if you can fly or not, and then about 3/4 of the way there, they might tell you what you're going to, because your crew's going to ask, hey, can I get like some type of
weight,
patient weight or something? And oh yeah, patient, is a 5-year-old male, drowning. Then you find out, but you've made your weather decision. By that time the mission pressure is off. And so I think just changing little things like that, greatly enhanced. But yeah, for me now, it's kind of like, I love helicopters. The problem is I don't fly helicopters all the time. anymore. And so, I feel like, I'll go and I'll fly for, say, a week and a half straight. And at the end of the week and a half, I'm like, man, I can still do this, and I feel accomplished. And then, I don't fly for like 6 months sometimes. And then you get back in the cockpit. Luckily, like for next week, I'm going to go and, we're taking a helicopter from Reno to Vegas for MBAA, a big show in Vegas. And on Monday next week, I'm going to train with a guy who flies every single day. He's a, instructor, just to go and knock that rust off, wrap my head around being a pilot again, because I think that that's also the hard part is like when you're flying day in and day out, the mindset is just almost there, right? It's like you just flip the switch and boom, you're in pilot mode. Yeah. For me, it takes a second to boot again. I have to like remember how to make a radio call. Got to like situate myself in the panel. And so, I'm excited to go and knock off the rust and then, easy flight to Vegas and back. Not, nothing. I'm not performing anything crazy, but yeah, it'll be a good time to get back in the helicopter.
Yeah, it'll be a beautiful flight too.
Be a really nice flight. Yeah, no, I'm excited. It'll be a good time. One of the things that I love about your content, I think you kind of mentioned it a little bit, is like when I'm watching your instruction, I'm really, and I love instructing, by the way. I loved being a flight instructor. The problem with being a flight instructor back in the day, I was, 20 years old. I started young and I was making no money. So that sucked. And when you're young and you don't know any better, you're just chasing the next thing, right? Yep. And so I never appreciated flight instruction like I should have. Now when I look back, I'm like, oh my God, how fun is that? It's like the one job where you go and get the keys to a helicopter and you're doing off airports and you're doing autos and you're doing this, you're doing that. And I loved instructing and I felt like I did a pretty good job. And when I watch your videos, man, I'm so impressed by just your composure. It's so easy. It's so hard for students to learn how to fly helicopters already. And if you're flying with an instructor that's kind of tense, maybe not so sure of it themselves, it's hard to learn, and I'm watching you flying autos with a newer student. You're sitting over there, you're relaxed, you're calm, you have a really nice presence. How long has it taken you to kind of build that comfort in that instruction seat?
Thank you to our sponsor, Vertical Aviation International. This March, you need to be at Verticon, the largest vertical aviation trade show and conference in the world. With over 15,000 attendees and all the major OEMs and suppliers, it's the place to be. Register today and save. Early bird prices end January 16th. Go to verticon.org.
So I've been blessed that we picked that posture up, and my old man and I have been talking about it, from Gary Young from Bell Flight School. So he picked that composure up from Gary Young. And he was a guy who came off of the Bell assembly line. So they didn't allow me to primary instructor in here till I had 1,000 hours. So I had to go out. I started working with a home builder. So I got, I remember going to college, didn't think it was going to work. And I came back home and I was like, hey, I want to learn how to fly. Harry goes, good. Well, here, the hourly cost. And I was like, well, you were paying for my college. Why can't you pay for my? And he goes, no. He goes, and you can't work here. You can only work here nights and weekends. And I was like, fuck.
So this is your. Just to clarify, to make sure I understand. So this is your father.
Yep.
And he owned the company at the time?
He owned the company at the time. Yeah.
Man, that's some tough love, dude.
Yeah.
I like that guy. Yeah. I like this. I like this guy.
I asked him if he wanted to come in and talk, and he was like, I don't like the podcast. Because I was like, you're the man who created all this, man.
Come on, this is you.
Like, yeah, I was like, this is you. I was like, I'm just trying to move it along.
I was talking to my buddy the other day, who's kind of older, and he's like, I just don't get it. If I'm driving in my car, where do I find your podcast? And I'm like, well, you don't tune to like a station, you got to go on the app, and I think the podcast thing is definitely foreign to the generation before us.
It's foreign to me as well. This is my first podcast.
Well, you're killing it.
Yeah. So, so he started it. He got trained by Gary Young. I get in. He says it's $325 an hour. I started working for a landscaper. There was a gentleman here who actually owns this helicopter. Back in the day, he was learning to fly, and I finally started learning how to fly because he owns a crane company. So he got me involved with the cranes. I'm a union operator at the time.
You make good money as a
sometimes
crane. That's a good career.
they make bank. If I'd have stayed in, there's people that stayed in it the same time I was in it, and there's nights that I kick myself every now and then because it's nice to go home and be an employee.
Yeah.
Well,
it's the best. There's trade-offs.
Yes, there is. So I was able to start affording it. I could do nights and weekends here, but the good thing about the nights and weekends is I didn't get paid from him. It was a complete trade-off. So at that point, it's a barter system. It worked great. I'm making good money. During my commercial time, there's another gentleman here, Gary Stover Homes. He wants to get a helicopter because the home industry that you got to remember. So I started in 2000. I got my commercial in 2004 because I could only afford an hour a week. Like it wasn't one of those things that it was like, here, go.
Yeah, where you just immerse yourself.
Yeah, I couldn't do it. I couldn't afford that, and that's what we always tell people. An hour a week is minimum. It's a slow, steady road, but you'll get it. And there's other people, and I'm like, look, if you do more than 4 hours a week, you're going to burn yourself out.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that type of learning, it's a fire hose of information.
It's hard. It's exhausting. Yeah. It takes a long time to build stamina. God, I can't say that word.
Stamina?
Stamina. Yeah. So there's a couple words that I have trouble with. I guess that's one of them.
I
remember, I don't know if this happened to you, and I sidetrack all the time, so I apologize. Right. I remember when I became a flight instructor, I had to, it's almost like right now I'm doing a half marathon training program, and you train, right, every week for 12 weeks. And then at the end, you can go and hopefully run this distance. And I felt like being a flight instructor was very much the same. Like I had to build up, being able to fly with, 6 different students or 7 different students in one day. I mean, that's not possible. I couldn't do it in the beginning.
We cap it at 5. I only do 5. Yeah.
I would fly with 1 or 2, and then you're just exhausted. I think it's the mental exercise of flying and just being so on that it's just draining.
Yep. So I started working with Stover. He picks up my bill for the rest of my training. So I lowballed myself to get in a commercial job. So now I'm flying for a home builder, and then I move into instruction after I get my 1,000 hours. And what's crazy about for me when it came to the first instruction, everything slowed down. I still remember doing like the first auto with somebody, and it was just slow for me. Mm-hmm. Like it slowed down compared to me doing it. And I was like, oh, this is cool. You know what I mean? Then I started taking my feet off the pedals because there's a lot of people who say with your feet on the pedals that they're like, oh, I can't believe you don't keep your feet on the pedals. Why? You don't need pedals. You know what I mean? Not as you're coming in. If they're left, they're right. It's the cyclic and the collecting. You keep that thing flat and straight. That's where all your control is. We can land it. They give us tail rotor failures all the time. You'll probably seen them where we're sitting there and it's like, boop, and it's like, you just keep the skids parallel to ground. You're fine. Yep. Especially in the Enstrom. I mean, and then I've actually said something in the Enstrom. I emailed the people because they've had a lot of troubles over the years. And the good thing about the Enstrom is we got a helicopter. I don't know who that is. Helicopter in the background.
I can hear it.
The Enstrom allows me to be that cool, calm, and collected. It's just not me. The machine broadcasts its move. It's stable. It's got a massive rotor system, low center of gravity. It is an amazing machine.
Well, it's interesting too, and that's something that did catch my eye with you, is that not a lot of people are operating the Enstrom. Like you said, the company itself has what I would like to say is a legacy impact in the industry. I mean, they've been around forever. They've had their heyday. Then it got pretty dark for a while, and then it got real dark. And then now they have Chuck, who came in and is, investing a lot of resources into the company. And I'm rooting for Instrom because I like Instrom, but I have no experience. So tell me about the Instrom helicopter, why you guys are utilizing it, and maybe some misconceptions about the machine and the company.
It's the safety. Number one is the safety. Now, the company has served us well. You know what I mean? They tend to be on the expensive side. So if you have maintenance, you're looking at it, you're going, wait a second. But if you look just at the main rotor head, the blades are on condition. The grips are on condition. The yoke's on condition. The main head is on condition, right? So then
that's nice.
All those are the only thing in the main rotor system that you need to replace are the straps. That's every 5 years, and you can put as many hours as you want in those 5 years. We actually found out that we fly the most hours on one model, the 280FX, one helicopter in the world because of the hours we fly.
That's crazy.
So I worked with one of the reps over at Enstrom, and I said, what countries use them? The Enstrom, Japan, Thailand, Czech Republic, and Peru all use it as government trainers. So they're able to sustain themselves through those contracts. And we love it because of the maneuvers you can perform in the Enstrom. The things that it can do, what it's capable of, the rotor system is the size. So if we look at it real quick.
Let's take a look.
So look at the rotor system for a 3-person, right? And then you got the 120 back there. It's the same size rotor head as an aircraft that can carry 5 people. So, with the Enstrom, that rotor system, even if we go up close and then you could look at it later, right? And then we'll go to the 120. It has a massive rotor head compared to a small body. And then you have the 120, and here the blades are actually right next to each other.
Yep.
So you're dealing with a smaller aircraft that has a high inertia rotor system, and the way that you can train in it is unreal. And what's great about the Enstrom too is if you can fly an Enstrom, you can jump right into a 500 because it has the same trim. Everything is, I jumped in it and I was like, this is like flying just a faster, stronger Enstrom.
Yeah.
I'm interested to get into 480B. I haven't been in one yet. They're not the 425 horsepower of the D model 500. But, for somebody traveling, and the issue I think with Enstrom is they're slow. The air conditioning on a fucking hot day, excuse my language, I'm sorry.
No, you're good.
On us.
It's an adult podcast.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. So the 206 has air conditioning. The EC120 has air conditioning. On a 110 degree day, and when it's blaring out the sun, I'd rather have the doors off.
Oh yeah. I've always said that the OEMs are great at making helicopters for the most part. But creating air conditionings that keep them cool, they suck at. It's just I've never been in a helicopter that's this air conditioning is great. When it gets over 100 degrees, you're screwed.
It's decent. It's because it's only, I think, to be, what is that called? It only has to change it by 10 degrees. And I'd much rather, I've done pipeline and it's been 100 plus, doors off, and I'm much more comfortable. The only time you really sweat is when you land on the tarmac.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. And even then it's okay, you got to deal with the hot weather,
Once you're airborne, it's so much more manageable, and doors off. It's so nice. Yep. And honestly, I think one of the coolest things of flying helicopters, flying doors off. It's just, I think as humans, we enjoy things like that, right? We like convertibles, no top,
I thought I'd enjoy a Jeep because I like flying with the doors off on the Enstrom. And I was like, I'm going to go out and buy a Jeep. Well, I didn't realize that wind on a Jeep comes right off that wheel well and smacks you right in the ear.
It does.
If you're going 65 down the highway on a Jeep, it comes up and it just hit. I'm like, nope, don't like this at all.
That's funny.
Where at least the door's off, the wind goes right by it.
Yeah, that's funny.
Yep.
You think they would engineer that a little bit better?
I think if you do the half door, I think that stops it. But I was like, no, I remember the first time driving a Jeep with the doors off, it's holy They're just smacking you right in the face.
Getting a hurricane across the face.
Yeah, it's like right in your ear. You're like, oh, damn.
So you start doing these videos essentially to document your life. So not when, but if you ever get sidelined by a Mack truck on
Oh,
40.
dude, here's the cruel reality of it all. It's all when.
It's true.
One thing, it's gonna happen.
You're right.
It's just a matter of when it's gonna happen. One thing we can't escape. That's the leveling factor for all of us.
I hope it's a long win from now. I hope it's a.
And the other reason is I did find a lump in my groin that sent me sideways.
Really?
And to get into everything's benign.
Oh, good.
It's just everything. But that kind of was the Mack truck that I was feeling. It was in between the two bursts. And I was like, because you know how your mind goes down the dark path.
Of course.
And I was like, am I even going to meet my daughter?
Ooh, yeah, it's horrible.
Like I was thinking, because it was just one of those things. And I was feeling my body, and I was like, I looked over to my wife. I was like, Ashley, what is this? And then the doctor's appointment took like 2 months, and I was like, how can this be? So you had 2 months to think about it. Then
oh my
they're
God,
like, oh, well,
torture.
You got to go see this person. But the good thing is that we went and got blood work. And the moment I was like, can they just send me to go? Can they over the phone? Can they send me to get blood work now? Because I didn't know what we were dealing with. Because as humans, we're taught a lump on our body. All of a sudden, it's like ultimate chaos, right?
Yeah, it's not good.
So that was the Mack truck. That was
your Mack truck.
Yeah, and then it turned out to just be I skirted it and it drove by.
It's good to have those sometimes in life, though, because it does make you kind of pause for a second, remind ourselves kind of what the priority is. I mean, as a business owner yourself, you probably, just like me, you could spend 99% of your day thinking about your business at all times, essentially, and forget sometimes to think about your wife or your kids or whatever it might be.
It's a very, what is it? Time is a weird thing, man. You don't know how much we have.
I know.
And that's where we're on the track of why I started this. So yeah.
So the videos you start for your own reasons. Obviously, you're not starting these videos to be like, oh man, I want to gain a massive following on social media, which essentially has happened. But what was it? A specific video that like just blew up your following, or how'd that all happen?
Thank you to our sponsor, Instrum Helicopter Corporation. Instrum Helicopter Corporation announces its full FAA certification for the crash-resistant fuel system on its 480B helicopter, promoting safety for pilots, passenger, and crew. This achievement enables Instrum to resume sales of newly produced turbine-powered helicopters to the global market. For more information, visit instrumhelicopter.com.
I don't know. I remember the one that took off first was with a client of ours, Jonathan, and I posted it because he said, why is the helicopter darting? Because he was stomping the pedals. And I said, because you're pushing the pedals too fast. I was like, if you come up, because when we all first start to fly, we're pushing our feet. So you pick up on the collective, right? You know to add left pedal and a counterclockwise rotor system, right? And as we're adding power, we're pulling that left pedal. But what people forget to do is relax their right. And when they relax their right and they push the left, boom, we rock. And the big thing about me with not having my feet on the pedals is it allows them to think through it. We're not just instructing. I need you to, because you're going to give yourself your first tail rotor failure, and I need people to think through it. I'm not going to stop us spinning. I can sit there and hold the cyclic and the collective all day long, and I've showed them I can spin down the runway on the line. Not a big deal. So think about what you're doing. Okay, we're spinning left. What pedal has to take? But it was only a minute, because you notice my content it's only like 3 minutes of attention.
Yeah, it's quick.
I'd like to start a YouTube channel, but time and all that, I gotta get on that, and I think it'll happen. There's a lot of people who are like, dude, you need to start YouTube, and I'd like to maybe get an intern that comes in and be like, look, I have the following, let's make something. I don't know how to go about it. It was hard enough, jumping on your podcast when my computer said you had the old Safari. So I know how to fly helicopters. I know how to post some content. I had one today that I posted, and it posted it like 8 times and had a whole bunch of random, and I was like, what? It looks like I'm an idiot, which sometimes with the phone, yeah, I am.
Well, I think this is the funny part about it, though, and I think it's actually the magic, because you don't really understand what's happening. That's the thing. That's why it's gold, because you're not doing it for any other reasons as you enjoy doing it. You like making the product. You like introducing others to helicopters and what you're doing. And you never did it for anything other than right? Like, you never had some grand vision of, and that's the magic, dude. Like, that's why you're successful in doing it. There's guys like me. I'll go and pay to produce content. I just did it recently from flying that same 130 back from Canada. Like 5 people watched. It's like, it's because it's authentic. Yeah, it's authentic to a point, but it's also heavily edited, and it's just, you're real, right? And I think that's what people gravitate towards, right? I think that's
right.
The magic.
There's one in there that I got, and I have other, because I only post like probably 10% of the content I have. I've got hours on hours on hours that people haven't seen, and I got moments I'm not proud of where you get frustrated with somebody because you're repeating yourself over and over and over again, and then I know it's a fire hose of information, but we've gone over this. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, the client's job is to try and kill you. Mine is to stop them.
Yeah.
I get that. But at the same time, I'm trying to get it, and it just doesn't seem so. There was a client that he was crossing paths with, and this client, they're both good clients. And I have typically everybody's a good client. You know what I mean? The only, bad clients that you have, they leave here. You know what I mean? I've had a guy.
Yeah, they don't.
Yeah, and they're the way like people talk, and it's only been like maybe 2 people, and it's like I've looked at myself, and I've talked to Ashley about it because they've left and they've come back, and they're like, well, how much money have I spent? And at the time we were slow, and I was like, he is gonna hurt somebody because he's not listening. You know what I mean? They're not getting it through. They're not. I said it's gonna happen. He's gonna get his license somewhere, but he's gonna hurt somebody, and
it's not good.
Yeah, and then what was great is the universe, whatever you want to call it. The next day, 2 other people called and wanted to sign up. So I know I was kind of on the right path with that.
I always tell people that you can fire clients. Honestly, when I started my sales business, it was like, man, I would do anything for everyone and this and that. And then there's sometimes where I'll have a conversation or a sales pitch with a client, or not even a client, but maybe someone that I'm trying to make a client, and I'll get off the call and be like, yeah, I'm not going to let that happen, because I've played that game before. And, I think it's important.
Yep.
It's not right, because you can have, 90% of your clients are awesome and they're great, but it's the 10% of the horrible clients that are going to take up all of your time.
Yeah. And the one, so to get on another tangent, I had one, we're coming in, he drops it on the cart. And I was like, don't dump it. Right. And that one took off because some people were like, I can't believe he yelled at you like that. I'm trying to be assertive, but at the same time, I'm trying to save him. You know what I mean? Like, look, I'm not just trying to sit here and not tell you something, like, don't dump it. And then what's crazy is like 2-3 days later is when it was a H-160 up in Michigan was landing at the restaurant.
The H-130.
Yeah. Oh yeah. The 130. Sorry. And had a tailwind.
Yeah.
Yeah. And he dumped it. You know what I mean? Ease down on it. Relax. Don't sit there and, oh, I'm here. Boom. That's one thing that we try and not. So I got to get the battery's running low. So I'm trying to get a extension cord.
You're a mover and a shaker, man.
But that one took off because some people were like, I wouldn't fly with him just from the way he talked to me. And then some, and it's all about the comments too. It's how, people.
Do you read your comments?
I do. And the funny thing is that if you take your negative comments and you can add, like, you can come at them with a positive or comedy, I've learned that it takes your algorithm and shoots it through the roof. If don't bend down to the peanut gallery.
Yeah.
But if you can sit there and go, hey, like I had one guy, what the heck did he say? We had a student coming in. It was his last solo before we start to work on cross country. And he goes, I said, we're rating him. This just happened the other day. And one guy goes, no wind condition. It was a good landing, not. And I was like, dude, I remember the first and last time I used the word not when I was like 8 years old. And that comment shoots it through.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? It's just, it runs it right down.
Well, because the social media likes that, right? Because they want, if you're able to create more engagement, then, that's how they.
Well, there's going to be, and this is for anybody, any, person watching this that you're going to have negative comment. You're putting yourself out there for people just to massacre. And you just can't, the greatest thing that I learned about all this is the easiest way to put yourself out there is stop judging others.
Yeah, it's true.
You stop judging everybody else. It's easy to just take your content, boom, just send it. Just be like, oh, this is it. Boom, I'm going to send it out. Because don't judge others. Be like, hey, they're out there. They're in the ring. They're trying. Respect that,
I think the best one I ever got was on one of my posts that I think someone said, this guy's voice makes me want to kill myself. And I was like, that's funny.
Well, don't listen to it.
Well, the way that I look at it is you're exactly right. You have to be willing to put yourself out there. And if you're choosing to put yourself out there, you have to take the good with the bad. And there's a lot of people that will talk shit on social media, but what are they doing? Like what are they up to? Other than maybe being an online bully.
They're trolls and bullies. Yeah.
It's just, to me, it doesn't really, and I don't get that many, like, that's not like I'm not an influencer status, so I don't even get that many comments, but when I do, it doesn't really bug me, right? Because it's like, okay, whatever.
I'll help you sell aircraft by influence, so I can start to be, because there's a couple people who said, hey, I started taking flight, because everybody who asked me, hey, I want to come to you, go to your local flight school. You know what I mean? I know that there are some people who train different. We're an older style of training. That's how we came up, but go to your local flight school. You can get it done. You know what I mean? But the other thing we're talking about, that was a tangent, is having the strength to put yourself out there. And that's the problem. People don't have that strength. And then they look at you and you're like, I'm going to attack you. Be like, what, through a keyboard? So I also started videoing my responses and coming at them.
Yeah, like that.
You know what I mean? Like, all right, like, because the one guy I had, because we were talking about where we land out back here, and he goes, oh, telling somebody they can land out of, take off out of a parking lot because you're not doing a max climb. It's a confined space. You're landing next to 3,000 gallons of fuel. It's 12 feet away. No, I didn't say it's a max performance takeoff. I said it was a confined area.
Yeah.
How to operate out of a confined area. Yes, you have a runway. And he goes, just telling somebody to take off out of a parking lot is an achievement, is blowing smoke. And I said, isn't flying a helicopter in itself an achievement?
Seriously.
Like,
yeah.
People forget, regardless of where, because what's funny is you have the people, oh my God, there's so many power lines. You're in a confined area. Then you have the guys puffing their chest, like, I fly helicopters. Mm-hmm. I can do that. It's like, calm down. I get it. You get it. Calm down.
Post your own video then, pal.
That's exactly. I've said that exact same thing. I'm like, let me see your work. You know what I mean? Put it.
Thank you to our sponsor, Metro Aviation. Metro Aviation, the world's largest family-owned aeromedical operator, offers comprehensive aircraft services with 140 plus aircraft in over 25 states. The Completion Center installs medical and law enforcement kits and avionics, serving diverse aviation needs including offshore, utility, VIP, and corporate sectors.
I like your content though. I think what I like about it is just genuine. Like I really feel
I appreciate that.
that's why I reached out, right? I mean, it's just like my algorithm all of a sudden was like, oh, you should watch this guy. And, so I started watching these videos. I'm like, oh, man, how did I ever see this guy? And then you're fucking all over I open my phone and it's like you all the time, and it's like,
Be
Jesus.
careful what you wish for, right? It's like, bang.
Seriously. No, but I like the videos and I like, I think it's informational, but it's also fun, and I think that it's authentic and, so I think it's great content. I'm really excited. And I agree. I think that you could capitalize, on a YouTube channel.
No, he's out here. He doesn't want to be introduced.
Who is it? Your dad?
Look, he's saying, look, he's the one who started it.
How you doing?
That's Harry Griffith.
Harry, how are you doing, bud?
Good. How you doing?
I'm doing good, man. You keeping your son in check or what?
Yeah.
So you guys are still both working together. Who's the boss?
We
depends.
fight it out every day.
Depends what day it is. Turn that up.
It gets as loud as it carries. Yeah.
Yeah, that's awesome, man. Well, how many years have you been at it then?
I'm sorry.
How many years have you been at it?
Since 82.
1982.
So
And
40 some, 38, 30, 40 some.
You started flying at 7.
That's crazy.
Yeah, but
89,
yeah, it's 80. Call it 80.
Yeah.
Call it 1980. So that's 45 years.
That's a long time. And you're still are you still flying?
Oh,
yeah.
Yep.
He's got what is your hour right now? 27,000 hours.
No, 26, 8.
Yeah.
Hold
Somewhere
on.
out here,
You still keep track? You keep logging your flight time?
Yeah. Yeah, it's nice because I go back like, who did you fly on such a date? So I go back and at least I know who I flew, when I flew. It helps,
Man, that's incredible. 27,000, almost 27,000, 26.8. Now they say at 10,000 hours, you're an expert. Do you feel like you're an expert at flying helicopters, or are you still learning something every day?
But learn something new every day.
Love that.
You teach best what you most need to learn.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think it's
Because when you start to feel that you're an expert at it, you start slipping. Now you want to be aware every day. Every day. You're only as good as your last landing.
100%. Well, I love hearing that. Thanks for stopping in. I know that Jeremiah was saying that you're not big on the podcast, so I feel honored to have you on.
I'm not big on getting my picture taken, let alone the podcast.
Hey, you got more hair than me, so you're doing good.
Yeah. For
Awesome.
how long, I don't know.
Yes.
Well,
How long, I
it's
don't know.
good to meet you.
Yep.
And I'm hoping maybe someday, I haven't been to Delaware, but maybe I'll have to stop up there and come check you
Sure,
guys
stop
out. It'd
in.
be really fun.
Absolutely.
Do
Absolutely. Nice
a
meeting
little,
you.
do a little flying together. Yeah, nice meeting you too, Harry.
Yeah. 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 All right. Take care.
Look at that.
Yeah, it's just like that, the authenticity.
I love that, man. 27,000 hours. Is it hard working with a family member? I mean, I think you work with
extremely
your wife
difficult.
too, right?
He said, is it hard working with family members? Yeah, extremely difficult.
Well, you know what cracks me up too is like I can't help but I'm just assuming like I can be a fly in the wall and understand your life a little bit. But my parents are from the East Coast, right? They grew up on Long Island. And so I grew up on the West Coast. And there's a difference. People are different on the coast, right? West Coast versus East Coast. We're different people. And so when I hear you talk and talking to your dad, I'm like, oh my God, these guys are classic. I just think of my family and they're arguing. They love each other, but they're yelling at each other and they're saying pretty mean things. But then it's like, all forgiven.
My best friend summed it up, Nick, at our wedding, at Ashley and I's wedding. And he said, we argue about making something better. Right. So it's like, if you're going to argue about that. It's not anything, you know what I mean? And it's not a bad arguing. At the end of the day, we know we're each other's scapegoats.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We know that, we're in this environment that you're always on hypervigilance. Vigilance. Yeah. You're hey, let's look out for that. That can cause a problem. Let's look out for you're consistently looking for what could happen. And that it's like, if I want to relax or that won't cause a problem. Be like, no, it fucking will. You know what I mean? Let's let's bring it back. Let's push this over here. Let's move stuff around to kind of make it so it doesn't have an issue.
You and your dad could have a reality TV show. You guys could be like the next Orange County Choppers.
We had 2 companies come in, and I don't know if at the time I didn't own I didn't have the controlling stock, but we couldn't get the editing rights.
Oh,
So if we can get the editing rights to it, we're in.
I think that would be a fun show because I think you guys have a lot of personality, and I think it could be. It's a cool business, and the personality is fun.
And it's not even our personalities; it's the personalities of the people who learn through us.
That's true.
Where you have the characters that come in here that buy a 500, buy a 120. This guy has the F-128. We got construction, cranes. What is it? The one guy has custom theater and security. So CTD is custom theater security, active crane. We got FFL, diesel mechanic. I mean, we have all the other characters.
Yeah.
Because it's, you stay in one spot too long, you get stagnant.
Yeah.
So you go to all these other shops. I said, we have something here. Absolutely. And Jake, if you hit up Jake, he just came here from Austin, Texas to learn. So now people are coming in from across the country. We have a guy from Israel coming on the 3rd week of October. But we have, that's what I told him. I said, I want to start making the videos for the children first, right? I said, but this is our front door.
Yeah.
It's in the pocket of everybody.
100%.
We were slow in COVID.
When I go to bed at night and I'm perusing Facebook, I see you.
Yeah. I hope you like it. I'm not annoying you. That's what Ashley said, because I would drop like 2 or 3 videos per lesson. Well, we have 5 lessons a day. That's 10 videos. And Ashley's like,
that's a lot.
You got to slow down. She was like, do 1.
That's a lot.
Do 2. You know what I mean? And I think I'm trying to keep it to that so I don't,
What have you seen a big spike though in people reaching out wanting to go to
Oh
school
yeah.
now?
There's other flight instructors from other schools that want to come over. There's what is it? There's people who just like the demeanor we have here, because you'll have the same demeanors as I do from him. That's who I learned it from.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's the master. People are like, why don't I want to fly with you? And be like, I'm a carbon copy. That's the guy. If you fly with him, and then all of our instructors they learn from us here. So we're all carbon copies. That's what I just knew. I knew we could get to people. And if anything, it's just fun. We have fun here. You know what I mean? Work started becoming like work, and I needed something to interject. We were big against the camera because you put a camera somewhere and it does. And that's the one thing about social media I'm trying to talk to the FAA about, because that adds a weight. I don't know. You have so your 3-month-old's going to watch a video or a movie, right? The Secret Life of Pets. Mm-hmm. Do yourself a favor. All you have to do is watch the first half hour, 45 minutes right now. And there's a Chihuahua with a GoPro on its head.
Yeah.
And it sits there and it's like, hey, did you get it? And I was like, that's the weight of social media in aviation.
Totally.
And it's, we've been flying 45 years there. I've been doing it over 20 years. And I was like, we'll put a camera in. And the one thing we teach clients is flying comes first.
100%.
If the camera's not recording, so get back on topic with Jake Akers. A gentleman from Austin, Texas, he did his research, wanted to fly with us. And I was like, I know when somebody's coming out, they have to have that thought in their head, like, hey, am I going to get the product? Is this just, I know it's easy to make 30 seconds to minute videos.
Sure. Is this real?
And he goes, dude, it's exactly what I hoped. You show only a fraction of the entertainment. And it's not even entertainment, of the true value of what we have,
Yeah. I think a TV show or YouTube channel. Next step, bro. I think it'll be awesome. Go YouTube.
I just need to get, doing 2 toddlers, you got the 1 kid, so you know how it is. And it's, I need to find the time. Actually, I looked at my YouTube on creating another page, and I was just going to dump everything and just let people watch. And I don't want to have subscriptions. Like, I know there's people out there that are trying to make a ton of money off of ground school on that. The Kings are old school, man. They're the OGs. Just pay attention to that. Yeah. This
Martha
King,
King.
Glime, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Glime is good schools. If you're doing the online thing, there's a lot of people that are trying to curate information. All that information's free. And if you want to watch me, I'm going to start doing aerodynamics, just the simple stuff. The 500 has a yin and yang on the top cowling, on that top piece. And I was like, I'm going to go up there and do how gyroscopic precession works. You know what I mean? Just
that's right. Yeah. That's a perfect, that's a good way to do it.
I was like, dude, because I'm walking up the stairs because we have a rooftop helipad. I'm walking up the stairs and I look down. I'm like, dude, that thing's got a yin and yang on the top. I was like, that would be great. It's a great visual,
I like that. Yeah.
And then just start going after. I actually really enjoy the guy who does the 10-minute videos of aerodynamics or less. Who does the Sharpie.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I'll start doing aerodynamics. I'll start talking to people about aerodynamics. You know what I mean? Just do quick videos.
I think the monetary value comes from the business that it brings, right? Like,
yes,
the reason I do the podcast is because I sell helicopters. And so I want people to know who I am, right? That's why I started doing the podcast. The podcast has grown and, it got, absorbed up by MHM Publishing, which is awesome. It wasn't like my grand scheme. I just was like, I need a marketing tool. I'm going to do this. So. But Jeremiah, we're hitting our time, brother. I got another podcast I'm recording today.
Cool.
I really appreciate you coming on. I want to get you on more. You're a character.
Oh, thank
you. And I think we only scratched the surface, just like your videos. But I really appreciate what you're doing for the industry. I think that, as I was telling you, I think before we were recording that, there's a lot of people posting a lot of helicopter videos, and I don't necessarily know they're always great for the industry or great in taste. And I like to consume helicopter content that is legitimate, professional, and hopefully providing value to the industry of making it a better, safer place for all of us. And so I think that's what you've been doing with your videos.
Thank you.
And just feeling lucky to get to know you. And honestly, I'm going to be, I'll be in Rhode Island probably January. Maybe how far away is like Providence from where you are?
Pretty good drive. Here, let's see. Where about real quick? We'll do
Cumberland, Rhode Island. Well, he's looking this up. To our listeners, thank you guys so much for listening to the Helicopter Podcast. We're going to catch you on the next one. See ya.
Please stay tuned for a final word from our sponsors.
Thank you to our sponsor, Instrum Helicopter Corporation. Instrum Helicopter Corporation announces its full FAA certification for the crash-resistant fuel system on its 480B helicopter, promoting safety for pilots, passenger, and crew. This achievement enables Instrum to resume sales of newly produced turbine-powered helicopters to the global market. For more information, visit instrumhelicopter.com. Thank you to our sponsor, Vertical Aviation International. This March, you need to be at Verticon, the largest vertical aviation trade show and conference in the world. With over 15,000 attendees and all the major OEMs and suppliers, it's the place to be. Register today and save. Early bird prices end January 16th. Go to verticon.org. Thank you to our sponsor, Metro Aviation. Metro Aviation, the world's largest family-owned aeromedical operator, offers comprehensive aircraft services with 140-plus aircraft in over 25 states. The Completion Center installs medical and law enforcement kits and avionics, serving diverse aviation needs including offshore, utility, VIP, and corporate sectors.